My name is Mike Finnegan, and I'm conducting a continuing legal education seminar on surveillance in America. Today's video is a brief introduction to that CLE. I start by mentioning a recent leak of classified information. It was top secret information leaked from an Air Force officer's laptop computer. I mention this because the leak, the access to the information was used by exploiting a weakness in the Internet Explorer browser. And if those terms are unfamiliar to you, I'll try to explain them as I go on in my larger lecture. But basically, everybody has an Internet Explorer browser installed on your computer as part of your basic software. And there was a vulnerability in it discovered in 2012 and largely discussed in the cyber community. Someone used that vulnerability to scan computers generally throughout the United States and found a weakness in a laptop computer that was being used by an Air Force officer. This person was able to access top secret classified information from the Air Force and then place it for sale. Now, in the world of cyber hacking, there are black hats and white hats. And black hat hackers are people who break into computers illegally, like the person who did the intrusion into the Air Force officer's computer, and then use that information maliciously, either to sell it or to the detriment of the original owner. In this case, there were also white hat hackers, and a white hat hacker was able to determine that the computer had been hacked because the information was offered for sale online. So the black hat hacker had stolen the top secret information from the Air Force computer and placed it online for sale, and a white hat hacker saw it for sale and then conducted his own forensic investigation to determine who the thief was. As a result, we have a general description of the thief. The thief has not been captured. This is actually the most unusual part of the story. This top secret information was offered for sale on the internet for $150 United States currency. This was stolen by an opportunistic thief who had no idea what he had stolen. In interactions between the black hat and the white hat, the thief used broken English. The white hat hacker believed he was dealing with somebody in South America. It was almost like someone stole a laptop out of a car and just tried to use the information for sale. He had no idea why he was selling the information or no idea the true value of the information. I just mentioned that in passing. That's how bad hacking has gotten, that people are actually stealing extremely valuable top secret information and then selling it for $150. I'll then transition to a case I cover in some detail in my larger lecture, and that's the case of Mr. Harold Thomas Martin III. This is a name most of you are not familiar with, but as American taxpayers, you should be familiar with. This man has stolen more information, top secret information from the United States government than probably everyone else combined, and yet there's almost no discussion of him in the media. On October 20, 2016, prosecutors said that this made the NSA's worst ever security breach, Harold T. Martin. What happened was Harold T. Martin came under suspicion. He was an NSA employee. He was actually a Bose Allen subcontracting employee. And if that sounds familiar, it's because other Bose Allen subcontracting employees have been arrested for espionage in the past, to include Snowden. This is almost a question of why the government hires anyone from Bose Allen for security purposes. Anyway, he came under suspicion, and the FBI went to his house to conduct an investigation. As they walked up the driveway, there was a car parked in the driveway, and they looked through the window of the car, and on the back seat of the car was information, documents marked top secret, special compartmentalized information, no foreign communication, no foreign. These are the most secret, sensitive documents that you can have in the classified world, and they have to be locked into a secure vault, and they can only be viewed in a secure room called a SCIF, which I also cover in some detail in my larger lecture. So immediately the investigating agent looked at it and realized there was a security breach. They then got a search warrant and went into Allen's home, and what they found sort of shocked them and shocked the United States attorney. First they searched the car, they turned up printed email chain marked top secret with the former contractor's notes in the back. The handwritten notes also include the description
of the most basic concepts associated with classified operations, as if he were explaining the document to a third party. Essentially, Martin stole 500 million pages of documents. In August, a cache of highly sensitive NSA documents mysteriously appeared online for sale. Russian hackers. Although the investigators did not find conclusive evidence that Martin was responsible, they did find evidence that Martin was studying Russian. He was learning the Russian language. This is the event that set off the search that turned up the search of his house when they found the documents on his computer. He took at least 50 terabytes of data, 6 full banker's boxes full of documents. He had tailored access operations, which means SCI information, special compartmentalized information. He had information in his car and in his house that he had no need to know. Specific information that cases he was not involved in. He literally went grifting for information, top secret information, and took it home with him. According to the criminal complaint, he's charged with theft of government property, unauthorized removal and retention of documents. He's not charged with treason. No one did this guy's background. The state of Maryland put a $9,000 lien on his house in 2000. In 2003, he was charged with misdemeanor computer harassment. In 2008, and this is my personal favorite, he cut off a driver while driving in busy traffic in Maryland. Both cars stopped and the drivers got out. Martin then identified himself as a state trooper. Curiously enough, he had cut off a state trooper. So the state trooper produced his identification, and Martin was then taken into custody. When it turned out the other driver was an off-duty state trooper, Martin fled. The local police charged him in the incident, but the record of the episode was later expunged. He kept his security clearance. No good work goes unpunished, and vice versa. No bad work goes unrewarded. The year after the episode of the police impersonation on the side of the road, Mr. Martin was hired by the contractor, Bose Allen, for whom he would work at the NSA for the next 6 years before being moved to a Pentagon job. Note to the NSA, fire Bose Allen, the subcontractor Bose Allen, have produced the greatest problems in the history of the NSA. Fire Bose Allen. Find another subcontractor. All right, that's just a brief interview, and you can see sort of an emotional issue with me because of my background in the government. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in my larger lecture. Thank you very much.